Last month, a 25-year-old police officer driving 80 miles per hour on a 40-mile-per-hour road killed a pedestrian who was walking on the sidewalk to his barbershop appointment. Houston, Texas Police Department released 2 video clips from body cams worn by the offending officer, Orlando Hernandez, and his partner who was in the patrol car with him. Both officers were 25 years old with less than 5 years on the force, and they're both still on active duty. This harrowing footage shows the vehicle charging at high speed before the officer drove the car onto the sidewalk and hit 62-year-old Michael Wayne Jackson, resulting in Jackson's death. Hernandez was driving between 80 and 100 miles per hour in a Ford Police Interceptor, a vehicle that is 6,300 pounds. The officers were rushing to back up a carjacking crime nearby. So cities across the country are dealing with the epidemic of traffic deaths caused not only by reckless, dangerous driving like this, but cars that are literally tank-sized, paired with increased reckless driving. This past year, there were 38,680 deaths on U.S. roadways. This number is insane and horrifying, but traffic deaths are something that Americans have just accepted as part of our lives. We often use deaths in car accidents as a way to measure the safety of other things, like plane crashes. How many times have you used the absurd number of traffic fatalities to make yourself feel better about flying? I do this a lot, but recently I've realized that it doesn't actually make me feel better anymore, because it actually makes me sick about how much we tolerate how dangerous driving has become. The LA Times recently reported on this epidemic and how it's connected to the pandemic, writing chillingly that, quote, "The latest evidence suggests that after decades of safety gains, the pandemic has made U.S. drivers more reckless, more likely to speed, drink, or use drugs and leave their seatbelts unclicked." They go on to cite how the pandemic lines up with other troubling details of how COVID has affected other habits like alcohol sales soaring, drug overdoses setting new records, and homicides, which have seen their biggest increase on record. But back to the story at hand. This is yet another case of a police officer using his position as an arbiter of the law to totally abandon the law. This behavior is reckless, and because of it, a man is now dead. This is hardly the first case of its kind, but it really highlights just how deadly the combination of reckless driving and officers emboldened to act above the law can be. It's horrifying to know that this can and will happen everywhere unless we radically shift the way we think about car culture, in addition to thinking about the role of police officers as arbiters of safety. Officer Orlando Hernandez, who was driving, remains on active duty. A Houston DA plans to present the case to a grand jury, but has yet to do so. Thanks so much for watching. You can follow me on all platforms at Caro Johnson 917.